Hello and welcome to another narration of 100% Orange Juice. This is a one hell of a match. The campaign for the Suguri player here. I'm still deckless. I haven't changed anything to my deck. Just right out of the gate, whatever standard is, and I just take off from the top row here. This level's been extremely difficult. I can explain it in just a second here as we get into the matchup. I was really not happy about this. Being behind Tomomo there is never good. Tomomo is an absolutely broken character in this game as far as I can tell. Maybe if I can get her stats to flash up here on screen. No, she doesn't get into battle. It's not a very difficult board compared to the third campaign mission. The tiles do change as you go through, and as you can see, I had back-to-back drops there. I'm not getting any stars whatsoever. It's just a slow start. So it's a pretty basic map. There's an inside and an outside, and as I said, the tiles do change. They switch from cards and bonuses to monster encounters, which can be really difficult when a boss shows up. I think that if I can get a chance to look at Hime is a character you fight in the first one. She's avoid an attack, kind of similar to me, but not as good, because I have that extra avoid on my character. So for this particular map, because of the tile changes, Maripopo is basically just an empty slot. She never has won or even gotten close. I've done this particular map 4 times, I think, and every single time she's only gotten to maybe 3rd or 4th level, and that's towards the end of the game. So it's just really hard to crank up stars when you don't have an offensive power to defeat monsters readily. Tomomo almost always takes out her targets when she gets into them, except for bosses, of course. But I never wanted to be behind Tomomo, because she runs up right behind you and just rapes you. So it's always good when she decides to go a different direction than where you're going. So here I'm like, I just want to get my Norma because it's right there. I roll a 1, so I have a chance to take out the Seagull and get up to the 10, so I can get my next Norma on the next turn. So things are going in my favor, so to speak. I know that, as you can see, there's a lot of monster tiles on there right now, and Tomomo is a defeat character. As you can see there, 2 attack and +1 avoid. So there's nothing bad about her character. She's got 6 HP, so she's just bulky. She's got decent avoid and great attack. So it's just so easy for her to come up, and even with a roll low there, she rolled a 2, but that becomes a 4, and it's enough to kill the chicken. So she'll definitely go defeats when she gets her first Norma. And yeah, that's kind of how it's been going here. I'm pretty sure I went for defeat since I have 3, and waiting for the 20 stars is a little steep. I think it's 20. It's either 20 or 30. It's hard to remember sometimes. No, really. So we have more tile changes, and here I'm just rolling around the track. I have a very bad record of not landing on another person's Norma, so as you can see, she's reached her 2nd level, and she's already got 5 defeats. I don't think she's killed a single player either, so that's all just from running into monsters, because she can one-hit kill them most of the time. Just a ridiculous character in general. I already talked a little bit about the board, and there is sort of an inside ring and an outside ring, and the tiles do change, so there's not a whole lot you can do. If you've reached your Norma, you can just stick to the inside. The NPCs don't really play it all that smart. I think that early on in the game, there was that time when Tomomo could have come on the inside and taken me out, and then if she had done that, I wouldn't have been even close to getting to my Norma. So this is a really, on edge match. Right now, Tomomo and Hime are in the lead at their 3rd level, and I am just about ready to get to my 3rd level. But as you can see, Tomomo now is at 7 defeats. That's the thing that you should be paying attention to throughout this whole match, is her defeat count. If you didn't know, you need 15 to get the winning Norma at the end, and it's 200 stars for star people. So Hime is most likely going for stars. Here I'm thinking, should I go for 5 diffs or 70 stars? I decided to go for the stars because I don't want to risk, having to land on a card. Maybe it's not the best thing. I was pretty pissed off having to fight a boss right after getting that, so it's like I ended up losing there, so it's like I just can't get anything straight. I'm even further away from the 70 that I need, so it doesn't look very bright. If you can see here, Tomomo is on her final level. She has 109 stars with 10 defeats, and she's most definitely going for the defeats right now. Get a bit of luck with her going down at the boss, but all that really does is buy time, since dying doesn't take away from your defeat count. So all I can hope to do is get to 70 before I get around. Of course, if you haven't noticed throughout these narrations or commentaries, that as time goes on, you get more stars per turn, of course. So I use a card here. As you saw maybe there, using a card takes some of my stars away, but I got a really lucky roll and killed the boss, and now I'm jumping up at 100. So I'm thinking that I'm still in this game. I'm a few levels away from Tomomo. I get a lucky normal land here, so I just need to get 13 more before I can get the 120. So it becomes this race where I'm trying to defeat Tomomo, who's now at 11 defeats and on the move. I know that she's by far the most threatening character I've ever had to play against in this. And I think that if I ever play against humans, I wouldn't want to play against Tomomo, because she seems just to be too broken. There's no real con about her. I mean, compared to my character, who has 4 HP and 2 avoid and 1 attack with negative defense, she's got +2 attack, +1 avoid, no negatives, and 6 HP. She can kill monsters really fast. I've been saying that before, but it's just true. So, and also, as I mentioned earlier, Mary Popo is only at 3 stars and just bumbling about, because it's a really struggling map for her. So I'm waiting to get to my 200, and Tomomo is only 4 kills away she's going to kill this chicken. So now she's only 3 kills away. I'm thinking, okay, maybe if I get it low enough rolls, I'm close to my Norma, I can get it before, I can get to 200 before. It's looking really good for me, right? This is the most intense part of the match because I'm at 990, she's at 13, but I only get to 97, and there's nothing I can do about it. I just have to go around or try to land on somebody else's Norma. So she keeps getting those. She's just 1 kill away. She just passed up her own Norma, so she'll have to get lucky to land on a different one. So now I'm within striking range. If I land on a Norma, then I win this match. So it's just this crazy duel. And right here, she gets to 15. So it all comes down to whoever lands on their Norma first. So I decide not to fight her because obviously you can't do that. I decide to, what do I do here? Go over defense. Now I'm at 3 HP. It's never something you really want to do. So I'm just really on edge thinking, am I going to get it this time? Am I going to make it? And I get within 1 away of the Norma. I have to fight a chicken. I managed to get the kill, but she knows that I'm right there. And so, just think, 6 attack. I go for the avoid and I get it. I could sound more excited about it, but that was the decisive point in that game. If she had killed me, I would have lost 111, I think. I get a lucky roll 1, and I just barely pull ahead of Tomomo at the very last moment. It was an absolutely crazy match. I know I've seen some of my friends play and they get even more crazy things, so I'm just really glad that I was able to I was able to pull out on top in the end. And now they just have, excuse me. They have some dialogue. I don't really, I run into kanji or words I don't know, so I can't read it. But before we get to the final results here, the credits are going to roll up. I'm not sure if this unlocks Tomomo as a playable character in the multiplayer mode. The friend that I learned this game about from, I saw him play a game against Tomomo, so yeah, if you really want to, if you can read the dialogue, I think I was just going through it so slowly because I felt like I had beaten the game. Yeah, this game is really mostly luck because a lot of random shit can happen to you at any time. This is the only time that I've ever gotten this far. So effectively, I beat. The only missions that gave me trouble were stage 3 and this last stage, I believe. So I know these characters, I think, are in another game. I haven't played any other games at all. This is just sort of random for me. And here's the very slow rolling credits. I guess I should just talk a little bit about what I think about the game, sort of. I really like the fact that there are cards in it. I think that if I actually took the time to read about the cards, it would be more and understood how they worked. I think even with cards, the game still relies a little bit too much on luck. It's one thing to say that I have such a great strategy, it's not so much like that. It's all about where you land, and that all depends on how you roll, and dice rolls, of course, is all about probability. It has nothing to do with skills. When you use your cards, maybe there are some things you can do, like if someone's behind you, you're not supposed to stop on a Norma if they're about to win the game, because if you've been watching and seeing, whenever you land on a player, pass them by, you always have the option to fight them. And if somebody comes and fights you, unless you kill them, then they'll also land on that Norma and get the victory. So the game has actually a wonderful, catchy soundtrack. I know some of the files were on YouTube, and everybody says that the sound's by Sam Free, but as you will see, or maybe you have seen, when the credits rolled up, that was one of the accredited music. So that's that. Nothing else to really say. The game is probably not good for your heart, because you will get screwed over when you play it. I don't know if these are really enjoyable. I just put them up for the hell of it, so. And that's the final stats for that.